yesterday something really disgusting and gruesome happened. I was shaking it like there's something in here still, even though I've bleached it, boiled it, everything. I couldn't get it all out. So I was shaking, and finally just this whole coiled body came out into the sink. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a while. I just didn't want to make snail content that wasn't necessarily very relevant, or I didn't want to just like add something in. But today I have a video that might actually help some of you guys make a really important decision. So of course a snail is going to pass just like any other animal at a certain point in your life, whether it's from illness or it's from something else. You may want to preserve the shell. So for you guys today, I'm going to share some of my preserved shells that I have kept from passing snails. These are giant African land snails for anyone new to my channel, and feel free to check out my other African snail videos if you are interested as well. And for anyone who's interested in how I got to this stage of keeping a nice clean shell, I have a video on snail euthanasia if your snail is poorly, and kind of the next steps with that as well, so feel free to watch that. But for today the focus is on the actual snail itself. So I actually got this idea for a video yesterday because I actually had to clean out one of my snail shells after he passed. His name's Olabisi, for some of you guys that know. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and show you kind of the end result of what you could also have. I keep these guys on my bookshelf. This is Olabisi. He's a pretty large snail. He's not the biggest in the world, but he is certainly a very pretty snail to have a look at. He's got really nice markings on his shell, and for some of you that may know, he was a Echidna immaculata pink-lipped snail. So for that reason, his is not actually that visible, but he has pink markings just on the lip. Galukig, who passed away, actually the offspring of Olabisi. So Galukig has a much stronger and vibrant pink lip, so that gives you a better idea of what they would look like. They're really beautiful snails. I find it so weird because the markings on these guys are so different, at least to me, like visibly. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but Galukig almost has like this green tinge to the shell, whereas Olabisi is kind of just more warm. But yeah, they're super pretty decorations, a really nice gorgeous memory to keep, and just sometimes it's hard when a pet passes, but to keep like part of the memory in the place you live is like a really nice reward. And like obviously it's not for everyone, so if you do want to just dispose of your snail, that's fine too, but I just really like to keep a memory. I do have two more giant African land snails that I have alive still. These guys unfortunately passed due to breeding reasons, which I can kind of like talk about more in another video if you are interested, or all of the potential ways a snail could pass. But yeah, so I'm just going to run you through the process on how to get a nice clean shell that you can have as a memory. So first things first is, when the snail dies, you want to wrap it up in a bag, and it is going to be quite smelly, so you either want to put it in your garden or hang it outside your window in a bag. Sounds a little bit strange, but it's really important that you don't allow the snail to really decompose in your house, in your flat, wherever you are, because there's going to be lots of bacteria and it is not going to smell great. Second of all, you want to make sure you give it a good decomposing time. So a week is not long enough. I think I left Olabisi for about 3-4 months. I left Galukig for about 6 months. So yeah, it's really important, because when I actually cleaned out Olabisi's shell yesterday, it was a very hard job because I didn't leave him for long enough, especially if the weather is cold where you are, like it is in the UK. They're going to take much longer to decompose. So yeah, you just want to leave them, like time is really important with these guys, and definitely in an outdoor area, but somewhere where a fox wouldn't be able to dig it up, or a bird, kind of pecking at it. So yeah, just I bagged it up in a couple of bags and hung it outside the window. Another thing that's really important is, when the time does come around for you to go to the next stage, you have to kind of be mentally prepared, because it is very bizarre to unbag or unbury a pet that you've had, but you've got to do this so that you can get out what's left in the shell. So as you can see, the shell is entirely empty now, which is really bizarre to look at. I've not actually seen this like that deeply. But yeah, so this next step is quite intense, and that is boiling the rest of the flesh from the snail, which is not a nice word, I do apologise, but that is kind of what it is. So yeah, you want to get boiling water in a pot that you don't mind, you know, kind of getting bacteria in. Obviously you can wash it, you can bleach it afterwards, and you want to boil these guys, which sounds really just morbid, but that is the way that you're going to soften any leftover flesh or anything in this shell. And then after being boiled, you can get a fork or you can get gloves on your hand and just pull out the rest of what's inside, which is a really gruesome process. It also does smell really bad, but in the long run it's completely worth it, because you guys have these beautiful creatures, which is amazing. So yeah, once you've done that, you obviously just want to go through the normal cleaning procedure of scrubbing the shell with soap, making sure it doesn't smell. So it's a bit gross, but if it smells, there's a problem. There's something still left in it. Yesterday something really disgusting and gruesome happened, which I was not expecting, but the rest of the body was actually caught and coiled up in here, and I was shaking it like there's something in here still, even though I've bleached it, boiled it, everything. I couldn't get it all out. So I was shaking, and finally just this whole coiled body came out into the sink. I would attach a picture of it. It's super gruesome. So if anyone is interested in seeing a picture, maybe I'll share that in another video, but only if you guys want to see that. I'm not just going to put it up on the screen for no reason. But yeah, then you guys basically have this end result. So you just want to make sure they're really clean. I still, when I handle these, even though they are dead now, I do wash my hands afterwards, just because, you know, I still don't know what's in these guys. Like, they still don't smell the best in the world, but they are definitely clean and bleached out and things like that. You can put bleach inside, it won't ruin the shell. That is a plus side to putting bleach in these guys, because if you bleach a lot of things it will ruin it. But yeah, you can bleach the inside of these shells, they're super strong. They won't crack in hot water, which was one of my biggest fears. But yeah, they're really hardy, and as you can hear, they're very strong. So yeah, nothing to worry about there. I'm just going to show you the end result really close up now, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful, and I hope it allows you to make more of a decision on if you're going to keep your giant African land snail as kind of like a trophy. I don't really like that word, but you know, something that's really special to you to keep and show your friends and family if they are interested. A lot of people aren't, they're like, what on earth? But anyway, yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will speak to you guys soon.